What's up guys and welcome back to the shop. Today it is finally time for the first service on the KLR 650. The main focus will definitely be the oil change on the motorcycle, but I'll also list out everything you probably should do in your first service. In addition to that, I will also come out with a chain adjustment video shortly so that you guys could do that as well. That is also a part of your first service, at least verifying and checking, cleaning, and making sure that it's still within specifications. But before we get started, I have these really cool engine guards that actually fit with lower engine guards, the upper engine guards. No need to swap out any of the extra guards. All you need to have the full protection on the front of this motorcycle is these specific guards. I'll go ahead and install these here in the future. Here are the tools we're going to need throughout the process of changing this, which is not much at all. But I'll also leave a link in the description for the oil that we're going to use today, the filter we're going to use today, and of course some cross washers. You should always buy new cross washers. Make sure you write down when you do the oil change, what mileage you did the oil change, and save all this information just in case, heaven forbid, you run into a warranty claim that you have to deal with. So the first thing you need to do is start up the bike and let it run for approximately 5 minutes or so. You really want to get the engine oil warm so that the majority of it comes out when we do the oil change. We'll go ahead and fire her up. Alright, so I let her run for about 5 minutes. She should be good and warm now. Alright, so the next step is to remove our drain bolt, which is located down here, and it is a 17 millimeter. And you can definitely see all of the metal shavings that are coming out. This is why it's so important to do that first oil change. So we'll go ahead and let this drain for quite a while. We want to get as much oil as we possibly can out. Another thing we could do is make sure you clean this off so debris and dirt does not fall inside. So we'll go ahead and let this sit for quite a while. We're going to wait until it stops, until it's just minor dripping, and then we're going to go ahead and go after our filter. Alright, so now we're slowly drip dropping. I'm good with that. We're going to go ahead and take a 1/4 inch ratchet and a 8 millimeter socket and remove these two 8 millimeter bolts right here. There's one, there's two. This little lip here is for so that we could try and pry this thing back and out. This is the first time it's ever come off, so it's a little bit stiff. Just kind of weasel it in there and you'll get that popping out there. Now what I forgot to do was put a rag of some sort on here. Now you could go ahead and take the 8 millimeter bolts and remove the plastic fairing there. I'm gonna go ahead and just shove my rag on here. That would have been a smart thing to do before we pop that off. So now that we have that going, we should be able to just kind of, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and clean out some of this extra oil, because you know all this stuff has metal shavings in it. So what we need out of our oil filter here is this little piece here, and it's going to get inserted back in there like so, and we'll get some new oil, and we're going to lube up these seals here. So we'll go ahead and stick her back in like so. The next thing we're going to want to do is take some kind of grease. Don't need a lot, just a little bit. And we're going to apply it to this O-ring here on this cap. And this is per the manual. Give her a little punch. All back in play. We can put our two little 8 mils back in here. Oh no! We'll go ahead and run these down real quick. They don't take much torque, so you don't want to overdo these. So we're just going to run them down till they're flush. I've made a total mess. So the torque setting for these bolts is 78 inch-pounds, which is little to nothing. In fact, that's only 8.8 Newton meters or 6.5 foot-pounds. So here's our 78 inch-pounds. Go ahead and torque this thing down. Obviously, very little amount of pressure. Alright, we're torqued down. Make sure we get the oil out of this engine guard we have down here that I just leaked in there. As much as we can anyway. Now it's time to put that drain bolt back in. Now in my opinion, you should always put new crush washers on. I'll link these down below if you want some. And something that I really messed up on for this oil change was I forgot to buy the low profile drain bolt, which kind of sucks. I've already bought one, and the thing is these stick down entirely too far on the motorcycle, and they will get busted off if you hit a good rock with the bottom of the bike. So I'll link down what I just bought, which is a low profile oil drain bolt. Sadly, obviously, I don't get to do it this time because I forgot, and I am too impatient, and I need to ride this bike tomorrow to get to work. We're putting the stock one back on, sadly. Get our new crush washer on there. Get our bolt back in the bottom. We'll get our 17mm socket, get our trusty torque wrench back out. And for the torque wrench, we need to be at 21 for the old drain bolt. So over there, just not much. Fill her up with oil. And we are supposed to be 2 liters or 2.1 US quarts. Now what I did was, I had an older bottle, so I went ahead and took the time to make it exactly 2 liters in this container so that I know when I pour it in there, I'm good to go. I'm giving it exactly what it's supposed to have. So we'll go ahead and put our funnel in there. There goes the air compressor. And you can already see our sight glass filling up. But after this, I'll show you guys how to correctly check the oil in the sight glass. All right, pretty much emptied out that bottle there. Go ahead and replace our cap. Everything's torqued properly, topped off. Last thing to do, start up the bike, let it run for a while, shut it off, let all the oil settle, and then we'll check the oil to make sure that we're within specifications. All right, quick startup, make sure she's in neutral. Fire up. Go ahead and shut her off. And now we just need to wait a few minutes for the oil to settle with us. The annoying part is getting the vehicle perfectly flat so that it will register within its limits. And I would say we are good to go. So that about wraps up the oil change, guys. Pretty easy to do. And in upcoming videos, I'll go ahead and make sure I do the chain adjustment for you guys. I hope this was helpful for you guys. Obviously, it's a fairly easy, simple process, something you could do on your own, and you don't have to worry about, paying someone to do it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week.